Hi, and welcome to day 2, part 2 of Shakespeare in 5 sittings, where I attempt to read the entire Pelican of William Shakespeare in 5 days in 14 hours a day. Now, as it has already been said, there is no way I'm going to finish all of this, given in a day and a half I've read 200 pages, whereas this is how much left I have to read, and I have 3.5 days left to do it. But I'm going to do as much as I can, and I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. And unless you don't already know, this is a fundraiser for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, which we had a goal of $100 of money to raise for them. But instead, we have raised $330 for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. The link is in the description and will be posted into the comments. We have already provided meals for 280 people and home care for 3 people struggling in their fight for AIDS. And we've covered life-saving medications for 1 month for a young man who is out of work and doesn't have health insurance. So now we will get to continuing the Comedy of Errors. Comedy of Errors, where we left off on, we were just beginning Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Antipholus of Ephesus with a jailer. Antipholus E. Fear me not, man. I will not break away. I'll give thee ere leave thee so much money to warrant thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today, and will not lightly trust the messenger. That I should be attached in Ephesus, I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears. Oh, and in case you didn't know, and you haven't watched any of the other parts, I drink water. A lot of water. You gotta stay hydrated when you're reading 14 hours of Shakespeare a day. Enter Dromio of Ephesus. Ephesus with a rope's end. Here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sir? Have you that I sent you for? Dromio E. Here's that I warrant you will pay them all. Antipholus E. But where's the money? Dromio E. Why, sir, I gave the money for the Pope. And Antipholus E. 500 ducats. Villain, for a Pope? Dromio E. I'll serve you 500 at that rate. Antipholus E. To what end did I bid thee hie thee home? Dromio E. To a rope's end, sir, and to that end I am returned. Antipholus E. And to that end, sir, I will welcome you. Beats him. Officer. Good sir, be patient. Dromio E. Nay, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity. Officer. Good now, hold thy tongue. Dromio E. Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hands. Antipholus E. Thou hoarse and senseless villain! Dromio E. I would I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows. Antipholus E. Thou art sensible in nothing but blows, and so is an ass. Dromio E. I am an ass indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served him from the hour of my nativity to this instant, and have nothing at his hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, he heats me with a beating. When I'm warm, he cools me with a beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, raised with it when I sit, driven outdoors with it when I come from home, welcomed home with it when I return? Nay, I bear it on my shoulders as a beggar wont a brat. And I think, when he hath lamed me, I shall beg with it from door to door. Enter Adriana, Luciana, courtesan, and schoolmaster called Pinch. Already 5 minutes into day 1, part 2. Day 2, part 2. And Antiphius E. Come, go along, my wife is coming yonder. Dromio E. Mistress, respice Finian, respect your end, or rather, the prophecy like the parrot, beware the rope's end. Antiphius E. Wilt thou still talk? Beats Dromio. Courtesan. How say you now? Is not your husband mad? Adriana. His incivility confirms no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I will please you with what you will demand. Luciana. Alas, how fiery and how sharp he looks. Courtesan, I think. Not sure. Mark how he trembles in his ecstasy. Pinch. Give me your hand and let me feel your pulse. Antipholus. I've forgotten how to say it again. It's been a couple minutes and I already don't know. Antipholus, I think. Antipholus, same thing. Antipholus E. There's my hand, and let it feel your ear, strikes him. Pinch. I charge thee, Satan, housed within this man, to yield possession to my holy prayers, and to thy state of darkness hie thee straight. I conjure thee by all the saints in heaven. Antipholus E. Peace, doting wizard, peace, I am not mad. Adriana E. Adriana. Oh, that thou wert not, poor distressed soul. Antipholus E. You minion, you, are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron face revel and feast at my house today, whilst upon me the guilty doors were shut and I denied to enter in my house? Adriana. O husband, God doth know you dined at home. Where would you have remained until this time, free from those slanders and this open shame? Antipholus E. Dined at home? Thou villain, what sayest thou? Dromio E. Sir, sooth to say, you did not dine at home. Antipholus E. Were not my doors locked up and I shut out? Dromio E. Purdy, your doors were locked and you shut out. Antipholus E. And did not she herself revel me there? Dromio E. Sans fable, she herself revelled you there. Antipholus E. Did not her kitchen maid rail, taunt, and scorn me? Dromio E. Certes she did, the kitchen vestal scorned you. Antipholus E. And did not I enraged depart from thence? Dromio E. In verity you did, my bones bears witness that since I have felt the vigor of his rage. Adriana. Is it good to soothe him in these contraries? Pinch. It is no shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to him, humors well his frenzy. Antipholus E. Thou hast stubborned the goldsmith to arrest me. Adriana. Alas, I sent you money to redeem you by Dromio here, who came in haste for it. Dromio E. Money by me, heart and goodwill you might, but surely, master, not a rag of money. Antipholus E. Weren't not thou to her for a purse of ducats? Adriana. He came to me, and I delivered it. Luciana. And I am witness with her that she did. Dromio E. God and the rope maker bear me witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope. Pinch. Mistress, both man and master is possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room. Antipholus E. Say wherefore didst thou lock me forth today, and why dost thou deny the bag of gold? Adriana. I did not, gentle husband, lock thee forth. Dromio E. And gentle master, I received no gold, but I confess, sir, that we were locked out. Adriana. Dissembling villain, thou speakest false in both. Antipholus E. Dissembling harlot, thou false in all, and art confederate with a damned pack to make a loathsome abject scorn of me. But with these nails I'll pluck out these false eyes that would behold in me this shameful sport. Enter 3 or 4 and offer to blind him. He strives. Adriana. And offer to bind him. He strives. Adriana. Oh, bind him! Bind him! Let him not come near me. Pinch. More company. The fiend is strong within him. Sorry, I lost my place. The fiend is strong. Oh, here you go. Luciana. Ay me, poor man, how pale and wan he looks. Antipholus E. What? Will you murder me? Thou jailer! I am thy prisoner. Wilt thou suffer them to make a rescue? Officer. Masters, let him go. He is my prisoner, and you shall not have him. Pinch. Go, bind this man, for he is frantic too. They bind Dromio of Ephesus. Adriana. What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched man do outrage and displeasure himself? Officer. He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me. Adriana. I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto his creditor, and knowing how the debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, see him safe conveyed home to my house. O most unhappy day. And Antipholus E. O most unhappy strumpet. Dromio E. Master, I am here entered in bond for you. Antipholus E. Out on thee, villain! Wherefore dost thou mad me? Dromio E. Will you be bound for nothing? Be mad, good master. Cry the devil! Luciana. God help poor souls, how idly do they talk. Adriana. Go bear him hence. Sister, go you with me. Say now whose suit is he arrested at? Exeunt Pinch and his company with Antipheus and Dromio of Ephesus. Man at author with Adriana, Luciana, and courtesan. Sorry, I lost my place again. Oh, officer, one Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him? Adriana. I know the man. What is the sum he owes? Officer. 200 ducats. Adrian. Say how grows it due? Officer. Due for a chain your husband had of him. Adriana. He did bespeak a chain for me, but had it not. Courtesan. Whereas your husband, all enraged today, came to my house and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon my finger now. Straight after did I meet him with a chain. Adriana. It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, jailer, bring me where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large. Enter Antipheus of Syracuse with his rapier drawn, and with his rapier drawn, and Dromio of Sarkaz. Luciana. God, for thy mercy! They are loose again, Adriana, and come with naked swords. Let's call more help to have them bound again. Run all out. Officer. Away, they'll kill us. Exeunt ohms as fast as may be, frightened. Antipholus S. I see these witches are afraid of swords. Dromio S. She that would be your wife now ran from you. Antipholus S. Came to the centaur, fetch our staff from thence. I long that where we were safe and sound aboard. First water spill of the day. It's bound to happen when you drink so much water each day. But I was hoping it would not happen today. Got on my headphones. Oh dear, okay. And my shirt a bit, but I'll survive, I'll keep going. Yep, the sound still works from my headphones, so that's good. Anyways, continuing. Antipholus S. Come to the centaur, fetch our stuff from thence. I long that we were safe and sound aboard. Dromio S. Faith, stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, and give us gold. Methinks they are such a gentle nation that, but for the mountain of mad flesh that claims marriage of me, I could not find in my heart to stay here still, and turn witch. Antipholus S. I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore away to get our stuff aboard. Exeunt. Act 5, Scene 1. And actually we have 5 pages left. We're very close to finishing the Comedy of Errors. I think almost all of the Shakespeare plays that I've read so far have all had 5 acts. I wonder if that's true with all of his plays. I've definitely read some of his plays before this and all of them have had 5 acts. But I haven't read all of his plays, so I don't know if some of them have less or more. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter the second merchant and Angelo the goldsmith. Angelo. I am sorry, sir, that I have hindered you, but I protest he had the chain of me, though most dishonestly he doth deny it. Second merchant. How is the man esteemed here in the city, Angelo? Of very reverend reputation, sir. Of credit infinite, highly beloved, second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time. Second merchant. Speak softly, yonder, as I think he walks. Enter Antipholus and Dromio of Sarkaz again. Angelo. 'Tis so, and that self-chain about his neck, above his neck, which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near to him. I'll speak to him. Signor Antipholus, I wonder much that you would put me to this shame and trouble, and not without some scandal to yourself, with circumstance and oath so to deny this train with which now you wear so openly. Beside the charge, the shame, imprisonment, you have done wrong unto to this my honest friend, who, but for saying on our controversy, had hoisted sail and put to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it? Antipholus S. I think I never did deny it. Second merchant. Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it, too. Antipholus S. Who heard me to deny it or forswear it? Second merchant. These ears of mine, thou knowest. Thou hear thee. Fie on thee, Wretch, 'tis pity that thou livest to walk here with any honest man resort. Antipholus S. Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand. Second merchant. I dare and do defy thee for a villain. They draw. Enter Adriana, Luciana, Courtesan, and others. Adriana. Hold, hurt him not. For God's sake, he is mad. Adriana. Hold, hurt him not. For God's sake, he is mad. Some get within him. Some take his sword away. Blind Dromio too, and bear them to my house. Dromio S. Run, master, run. For God's sake, take a house. This is some priority. In, or we are spoiled. Exeunt Antipholus and Dromio of Syracuse to the priory. I think that's how it's pronounced. Enter Lady Abbess. Abbess. Be quiet, people. Wherefore throng you hither? Adriana. To fetch my poor, distracted husband hence. Let us come in, that we may bind him fast and bear him home for his recovery. Angelo. I knew he was not in his perfect wits. Second merchant. I am sorry now that I did draw on him. Abbess. How long hath this possession held this man? Adriana. This week he hath been heavy, sour, sad and much different from the man he was, but till this afternoon his passion never broke into extremity of rage. Abbess. Hath he not lost much wealth by wrack of sea, buried some dear friend? Hath not else his eye strayed his affection in unlawful love? A sin prevailing much in youthful men, who give their eyes the liberty of gazing. Which of these sorrows is he subject to? Adriana. To none of these, except it be the last, namely some love that drew him oft from home. Abbess. You should for that have reprehended him. Adriana. Why, so I did. Abbess. Ay, but not rogue enough. Adriana. As roughly as my modesty would let me. Abbess. Haply in private. Adriana. And in assemblies too. Abbess. Ay, but not enough. Adriana. It was the copy of our conference. In bed he slept not for my urging it. At board he fed not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced it. Still did I tell him it was vile and bad. We're just $20 away from providing, I think, 320 people with healthy meals. And, yeah. So 320 people with healthy meals. Right now we've provided 280 people with healthy meals. Home care for 3 people struggling in their fights with AIDS. And covered life-saving medications for 1 month for a man who is out of work and doesn't have health insurance. And we are more than halfway to having paid overdue rent and kept a single mom with cancer and her children from becoming homeless. So please check out the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS page. And even if you aren't going to donate, at least read a little bit about the organization, because what it does is really incredible and really amazing. Okay, now, onward with Shakespeare. Thus, and thereof came it that the man was mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems he sleeps were hindered by thy railing, and thereof comes in that his head is light. Thou sayest his meat was sauced with thy upbraidings. unquiet meals to make ill digestions, thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what's a fever but a fit of madness? Thou sayest his sports were hindered by thy brawls. Sweet recreation bear and dull melancholy, kinsman to grim and comfortless despair, and at her heels a huge infectious troop of pale distempers and foes to life. In food, in sport, in life-preserving rest, to be disturbed would mad or man or beast. The consequence is then thy jealous fits hath scared thy husband from the use of wits. Luciana. Oh, excuse me. She never reprehended him but mildly when she demeaned himself rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes and answer not? Adriana. She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter and lay hold on him. Abbess. No, not a creature enters in my house. Adriana. Then let your servants bring my husband forth. Abbess. Neither. He took this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege him from your hands till I have brought him to his wits again, or lose my labor in assaying it. Adriana. I will attend my husband, be his nurse, diet his sickness, for it is my office. For it is my office, and will have no attorney but myself, and therefore let me have him home with me. Abbess, be patient, for I will not let him stir till I have used the approved means I have, with wholesome syrups, drugs, and holy prayers, to make of him a formal man again. It is a branch and parcel of mine oath, and a charitable duty to my order. Therefore depart and leave him here with me. Adriana. I will not henceforth leave my husband here, and ill it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband and the wife. Abbess. Be quiet in the park. Thou shalt not have him. Exit. Luciana. Complain unto the Duke of this indignity. Adriana. Come, go. I will fall prostrate at his feet, and never rise until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither and take perforce my husband from the abyss. Second merchant. By this, I think the dial points at 5. Anon, I am sure, the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale. The place of death and sorry execution, behind the ditches of the abbey here. Angelo. Upon what cause? Second merchant. By this, I think the dial points at 5. Anon, I am sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution behind the ditches of the abbey here. Angelo. Upon what cause? Oh, maybe I already read that, I'm not sure. Second merchant. To see a reverend Syracusan merchant who put unluckily into his bay against the laws and statutes of this town, beheaded publicly for his offense. Angelo. See where they come. We will behold his death. Luciana. Kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey. Enter the Duke of Ephesus and Aegon, the merchant of Syracuse, bareheaded with the headsman and other officers. Duke. Yet once again proclaim it publicly, and any friend will pay the sum for him. He shall not die, so much we tender him. I'll be back in 1 minute. Oh, already 30 minutes into part 2. Adriana, justice, most sacred Duke, against the abbess. Duke, she is a virtuous and a reverend lady. It cannot be that she hath done me wrong. Adriana, may it please your grace, Antipholus, my husband, who I made lord of me, and all I had at your important letters this ill day, a most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the street, with him his bondmen, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens, by rushing in their houses, bearing thence rings, jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did I get him bound and sent him home, whilst to take order from the wrongs I went, that here and there his fury had committed. A nun, I wot not by what strong escape he broke from those that had the guard of him, and with his mad attendant and himself, each one with ireful passion, with the drawn swords met us again, and madly bent on us chased us away, till raising of more aid, we came again to bind them. They fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them, and here the abyss shuts the gates on them, and will not suffer us to fetch him out, nor send him forth like we may bear him hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let me be brought forth and borne hence for help. Duke, long since thy husband served me in my wars, and I to thee engaged a prince's sword, when thou didst make him master of thy bed, to do him all the grace and good I could. Go some of you knock at the abbey gate, and bid the lady abbess come to me. I will determine this before I stir. Enter a messenger. Messenger. Oh, mistress, shift and save yourself. My master and his men are both broke loose between the maids and bound the between the maids a row and bound the doctor, whose beard they have signed off with brands of fire, and ever as it blazed they threw on him great pails of puddle mire to quench the hair. My master preaches patience to him, and the while his man with scissors nicks him like a fool, and sure, unless you send some present help between them, they will kill the conjurer. Adriana. Peace, fool. Thy master and his man are here. and that is false thou dost report to us. Messenger. Mistress, upon my life, I tell you true, I have not breathed almost since I did see it. He cries for you and vows if he can take you to scorch your face and to disfigure you. Cry within. Hark, hark, I hear him, mistress. Fly, begone. Duke. Come stand by me. Fear nothing. Guard with halberds. Guard with halberds. Adriana. Ay me, it is my husband. Witness you that he is born without invisible. Even now, we housed him in the abbey here, and now he's there, past thought of human reason. Enter Antipholus of Ephesus and Dromio of Ephesus. Sorry about that. Antipholus E. Justice, most gracious Duke, O grant me justice. Justice, O great Antipholus E. Sorry. Justice, most gracious Duke, O grant me justice, even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestrid thee in the wars and took deep scars to save thy life, even for the blood that then I lost for thee. Now grant me justice. Aegeon. Unless the fear of depth doth make me dote, I see my son and Antipholus and Dromio. Antipholus E. Justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, she that hath abused and dishonored me, even in the strength and height of injury. Beyond imagination is the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me. Discover how, and thou shalt find me just. Antipholus E. O Duke, discover how, and thou shalt find me just. Antipholus E. This great Duke, she shut the doors upon me while she with harlots feasted in my house. Duke. O grievous fault, say, woman, didst thou? Adriana. No, my good lord. Myself, he, and my sister today did dine together. So befall my soul, as is false, he burdens me withal. Luciana. Ne'er may I look on day, nor sleep or on night, but she tells to your highness simple truth. Angelo. O perjured woman, they are both forsworn. In this the madman justly chargeth them. Antipholus E. My liege, I am advised what I say, neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash provoked with raging ire. Abite my wrongs might make one wiser mad. This woman locked me out of this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it, for he was with me then, who parted with me to go fetch a train, promising to bring it to the Porpentine, where Balthazar and I did dine together. Our dinner done, and he not coming thither, I went to seek him. In the streets I met him, and in his company that gentleman. There did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of him received the train, which God he knows, I saw not, for the which he did arrest me with an officer. I did obey, and sent my peasant home for certain ducats. He with none returned. Then fairly I bespoke the offer to go in person with me to my house. By the way we met my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of vile confederates. Along with them, they brought one pinch, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a, a mount, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler, a fortune teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, shaped-looking wretch, a living dead man. This pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, and with no face, as twere out facing me, cries out, I was possessed. Then all together they fell upon me, bound me, bore me, and thence, in a dark and dankish vault at home, there left me and my man, both bound together, still gnawing with my teeth my bonds in sunder. I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities. Angelo. My lord, in truth, thus far I witness with him, though that he dined not at home, but was locked out. Duke. But had he such a chain of thee, or no? Angelo. He had, my lord, and when he ran it here, these people saw the chain about his neck. Second merchant. Besides, I will be sworn these ears of mine heard you confess you had the chain of him after you first forswore mine. Thank you, Atish. Where was I? These people saw the chain around his neck. Second merchant. Besides, I will be sworn these ears of mine heard you confess you had the chain of him, after you first forswore it on the march, and thereupon I drew my sword on you, and then you fled into this abbey here, from whence I think you are come by miracle. Antipholus E. I never came within these abbey walls, nor ever didst thou draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven. And this is false you burden me withal. Duke. Why, what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk of Circe's cup. If here you housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home. The goldsmith here denies that saying. Cyril, what say you? Dromio E. Sir, he dined with her there at the Porpentine. Courtesan. He did, and from my finger snatched that ring. And Antiphius E. 'Tis true, my liege, this ring I had of her. Duke. Saw'st thou him enter the abbey there? Courtesan. As sure, my liege, as I do see your grace. Duke. Why, this is strange. Go call the abbess hither. I think you are all matted or stark mad. Exit one to the abbess. Egion. Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Happily I see a friend will save my life, and pay the sum that may deliver me. Duke. Speak freely. Going to get some colleagues to join. Boost your subs. Thank you so much, Atish. It means a lot. Duke, speak freely, Sarkian. What thou wilt. Egion, is not your name, sir, called Antipholus? And is not that your bondman Dromio? Dromio E. Within this hour I was his bondman, sir. But he, I thank him, gnawed into two my cords. Now I, Dromio, am, and his man, unbound. Aegeon. I am sure you both of you remember me. Dromio E. Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you. For lately we were bound, and you are now. You are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir? Aegeon. Why look you strange on me? You know me well. Antipholus E. I never saw you in my life till now. Aegeon. Oh, grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange defeatures in my face. But tell me yet, dost thou not know my voice? Antipholus E. Neither. Aegeon. Dromio. Nor thou? Dromio E. No, trust me, sir, nor I. Aegeon, I am sure thou dost. I'm sure thou dost. Dromio E. Ay, sir, but I am sure I do not. And whatsoever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him. Aegeon. Not to know my voice, O time's extremity! Hast thou so cracked and splitted my poor tongue in 7 short years that here my only son knows not my feeble keys of untuned cares? Thou not this grained face of mine be hid in sap-consuming winter's drizzled snow, and all the conduits of my blood froze up. Yet hath my night of life some memory, my wasting lamps some fading glimmer left, my dull deaf ears a little used to hear. All these all these witnesses, I cannot err. Tell me thou art my son Antipholus. Antipholus E. I never saw my father in my life, Aegeon, but 7 years since, in Syracusa, boy, thou knowest we parted, but perhaps, my son, thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery. Antipholus E. The Duke and all that know me in the city can witness with me that it is not so. I never saw Syracusa in my life. Duke. I tell thee, Syracusian, 20 years I have been patron to Antipholus, during which time he ne'er saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote. Enter the abyss with Antipholus of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse. Abyss. Most mighty Duke, behold a man much wrong. All gather to see them. Adriana. I see 2 husbands, or mine eyes deceive me. Duke. One of these men is genius to the other, and so of these which is the natural man, and which the spirit? Who deciphers them? Dromio S. I, sir, am Dromio. Command him away. Dromio E. I, sir, am Dromio. Pray let me stay. Antipholus S. Aegon art thou not, or else his ghost? Dromio S. O my old master, who hath bound him here? Abbess. Whoever bound him, I will lose his bonds and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, old Aegeon, if thou be'st the man that hast a wife once called Amelia, that bore thee at a burden 2 fair sons. If thou best the same, Aegeon, speak, and speak unto the same Amelia. Aegeon, if I dream not, thou art Amelia. If thou art she, tell me, where is that son that floated with thee on the fatal raft? Abbess. By men of Epidemion, he and I and the twin Dromio all were taken up, but by rude fishermen of Corneath, by force took Dromio and my son from them, and me they left with those of Epidemium. What then become of them I cannot tell. I too is this fortune that you see me in. Duke, why here begins his morning story right. These 2 Antipholus, these 2 so alike, and these 2 Dromios, one in semblance, besides her urging of her wreck at sea. These are parents to these children, which accidentally are met together. Antipholus, thou camest from Corneath first? Antipholus S. No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse. Duke. Stand apart. I know not which is which. Antipholus E. I came from Corneath, my most gracious lord. Dromio E. And I with him. Antipholus E. Brought to this town by that most famous warrior, Duke Metaphon, your most renowned uncle. Adriana. Which of you 2 did dine with me today? Antipholus S. I, gentle mistress. Adriana. And are not you my husband? Antipholus, Antipholus S. No, I say nay to that. Antipholus S. And so did I, yet did she call me so? And this fair gentleman, her sister here, did call me brother. To Luciana. What I told you then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this be not a dream I see and hear. Angelo. That is the chain, sir, which you had of me. Antipholus S. I think it be, sir, I deny it not. Antipholus E. And you, sir, from this chain arrested me. I think I did, sir, I deny it not. Adriana. I sent you money, sir, to be your bail. By Dromio, but I think he brought it not. Dromio E. No, none by me. Antipholus S. This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them me. I see we still did meet each other's man, and I was taken for him, and he for me, and thereupon these errors arose. Antipholus E. These ducats pawn I for thee, father here. Duke. It shall not need, thy father hath his life. Courtesan. Sir, I must have that diamond from you. Antipholus E. There, take it, and much thanks to my good cheer. Abbess, renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us unto the abbey here, and here at large discourse our own fortunes, and all that are assembled in this place, that by this sympathized one day's air have suffered wrong, go keep us company, and we shall make full satisfaction. 33 years have I but gone in travel of you, my sons, and till this present hour my heavy burden ne'er delivered. The Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you the calendars of their nativity, go to a gossip's feast, and go with me, after so long grief with such nativity. Duke. With all my heart, I'll gossip at this feast. Exeunt all but the two Dromios and two brothers. Dromio S. Master, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard? Antipholus E. Dromio, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked? Dromio S. Your goods that lay at host, sir, in the Centaur. Antipholus S. He speaks to me. I am your master. I am your master, Dromio. Come, go with us, and we'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him. Exit with his brother. Dromio S. There is a fat friend at your master's house that kitchened me for you today at dinner. She now shall be my sister, not my wife. Dromio E. Methinks you are my glass and not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping? Dromio S. No, sir, you are my elder. Dromio E. That's a question. How shalt we try it? Dromio S. We'll draw cuts from the senior. Till then, lead thou first. Dromio E. Nay then, thus. We came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand, not one before another. Excellent. And that is the end of the Comedy of Errors. And now we're moving on to another play. I think so far today we've read 2 plays. This will be the 3rd play for the day, I think. Because I started with The Taming of the Shrew, then The Comedy of Errors, and now we're going on to Love's Labour's Lost. I'll be back in 1 minute to start Love's Labour's Lost. Thank you, Rowan. Okay, I'm back, and now I am starting my third play of the day, Love's Labour's Lost. Names of the actors: Ferdinand, King of Never. At the beginning of every play, I always need to look up the names of some of the things because I have no idea how to pronounce these things. Okay. How to pronounce Navarre. Navarre. Okay. Makes most sense. Okay. Ferdinand, King of Navarre. Baroni, Longueville, and Dumaine are all lords attending on the king. Don Adriano de Amondo, a Spanish braggart. Moth, his page. Princess of France, and Rosaline, Catherine, and Maria, ladies attending on the princess. Then there's Boyet and two lords who are attending on the princess. And then there's Costard, a clown. Jacquenetta, whatever, a dairymaid. Sir Nathaniel, a curate. Holofernes, a schoolteacher. Holofernes, a schoolteacher. Anthony Dull, a constable. Marcade, a messenger, and then a forecaster and musicians. And we are now at an hour of day 2, part 2. Scene: Navarre. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Ferdinand, King of Navarre. Baroni, I feel like I'm pronouncing that one wrong as well. How to pronounce Barone. Barone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was correct. Barone. Awesome, cool. Okay. Ferdinand of Navarre, Barone, Longueville, and Domaine. King. Let fame that all hunt after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death, when spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavour of this present breath may buy that honour which shall bait his scythe's keen edge and make us heirs for all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are that war against your own affections and the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academy still and contemplative in living art. You three, Barone, Domaine, and Longueville, have sworn for 3 years term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed, and now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike this honor down, that violates the smallest branch herein. If you are armed to do as sworn to do, subscribe to your deep oaths, and keep it too. Longueville. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put this is Love's Labours. For anyone who's joining in the middle, we're reading Love's Labours Lost. Longueville. I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years fast. The mind shall banquet through the body prime. Fat paunches have lean plates, and dainty bits make rich the ribs, but bankrupt quite the wits. Dumaine. My loving lord, Dumaine is mortified. The grosser manner of these words delights. He throws upon the gross world's baser slaves To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and die with all these living in philosophy. Barone. I can but say their protestation over. So much, dear liege, I have already sworn, that is, to live and study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there, and one day in a week to touch no food, and but one meal on every day beside, the which I hope is not enthralled there. And then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night, to make a dark night too of half the day, which I hope well is not enrolled there. Oh, these barren tasks too hard to keep, not to see ladies study fast, not sleep. King. Your oath is past to pass away from these. Barone. Let me say no, my liege, and if you please, I only swore to study with your grace, and stay here in your court for 3 years' space. Longaville. You swore to that, Barone, and to the rest. Barone. By yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know. Let me know? King. Why, that to know which else we should not know. Barone. Things hid and buried, you mean from common sense? King. Aye, that is study's godlike recompense. Barone. Come on, then, I will swear to study so. To know the thing I am forbid to know, and thus to study where I may well dine, where to meet I may well dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid, or study where to meet some mistress fine, when mistress from common sense are hid, or having sworn too hard a keeping oath, study to break it and not break my troth. If study's gain be thus, and this be so, study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I will ne'er say no. I'm gonna need a refill of water soon. King. These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellects to vain delight. Barone. Why, all delights are vain, but that most vain which with pain purchased doth inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book, to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Light seeking doth light and of light beguile. So ere you find where light and darkness lies, your light grows dark by losing of your eyes. Study me how to please the eye indeed, by fixing it upon a fair eye, who dazzling so that I shall be his heed, and giving him light that it was blinded by. Study is like the heaven's glorious sun, that will not be deep searched with saucy looks. Small have continental plotters ever won, save base authority from others' books. These earthly godfathers of heaven's lights, that give a name to every fixed star, have no more profit of their shining nights than those that walk and wot not what they are. Too much to know is to every naught but fame, and every godfather can give a name. Real quick announcement. Oh, thank you so much to we are now at $355. Thank you to my grandmother, who says, donated to encourage the great efforts by Simon of reading all of Shakespeare works for the benefit of those suffering with AIDS. So thank you so much. Because you donated $25, we are now at an amazing place in the fundraiser. We have now provided meals for 320 people. I think that's right. Wait, maybe. So, wait a second. Let me do the math. I think so. Yeah, 320. 320 people with healthy meals. We've provided home care for 3 people struggling in their fight with AIDS, and we've covered life-saving medications for 1 month for a young man who is out of work and doesn't have health insurance. And we're more than halfway to having paid overdue rent and kept a single mom with cancer and her children from becoming homeless. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. And if you would like to donate, the link is in the description, and it is also at the very top. And it is also at the very top of the comments, so that you may check it out. And even if you're not planning on donating, you should still click the link and read a little bit about this organization, because they really do so much to help, and it's really incredible. Okay, now I shall continue. King, how well he's read to reason against reading. Domain, proceed well to stop all good proceeding. Longville, he weeds the corn and still lets grow the weeding. Barone, the spring is near when green geese are breeding. Domain, how follows that? Barone, fit in his place in time. Domain, in reason nothing. Barone, something then in rhyme. King, Barone is like an envious sleeping frost that bites the first-born infants of the spring. Barone, well, say I am, why should a proud summer boast before the birds have any cause to sing? Why should I joy in any Why should I joy in any abortive birth at Christmas? I no more desire a rose than wish a snow in May's newfangled shows. But like of each thing that in season grows, so you to study now it is too late. Climb o'er the house to unlock the little gate. King, well, sit you out. Come home, Barone. Adieu. Barone, no, my good lord, I have sworn to stay with you. And though I have for barbarism spoke more than for that angel knowledge you can say, yet confident I'll keep what I have sworn and abide the penance of each 3 years' day. Give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strictest decrees I'll write my name. King, handing over the paper, how well this yielding rescues thee from shame. Barone reads, item, that no woman shall come within a loving mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed? Longaville, 4 days ago. Barone, let's see the penalty. On pain of her losing her tongue. Who devised this penalty? Longaville, marry, that did I. Barone, sweet lord, and why? Longaville, to fright them hence with that dread penalty. Barone, a dangerous law against genitally. Reads, item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman in public within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as to the rest of the court can possible devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break, for well you know here comes in embassy the French king's daughter with yourself to speak, a maid of complete majesty, about surrender of I'm not sure how to pronounce that, to her discreet, sick, and bedrid father. Therefore this article is made in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither. King, what say you, lords? Why, this was quite forgot. Barone, so study evermore is overshot. While it doth study to have it would it doth forget to do the thing it should. And when it hath the thing it hunteth most, 'Tis one as towns with fire, so one so lost. So one so lost. It appears I have ran out of water again because I am drinking so much of it. And now I shall leave and be back very quickly after done filling up my water bottle. Ah, my bottle is filled up. King, we must of force dispense with this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity. Brone, to study evermore is overshot. While it doth study to have what it would, it doth forget to do the thing it should. And when it hath the thing it hunteth most, 'tis one as towns with fire, so one so lost. King, we must of force dispense with this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity. Brone, necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times with 3 years' space, for every man with his effects is born, not by might mastered, but by special grace. If I break faith, this word shall speak for me. I am forsworn on mere necessity. So to the laws at large I write my name, and he that breaks them in the least degree stands in attainder of eternal shame. Suggestions are to other as to me, but believe, but I believe, although I seem so loath, I am the best that will keep. I am the last that will last keep his oath. But there is no quick recreation granted. Ay, that there is. Of our court, you know, is haunted with a refined traveler of Spain, a man all the world's new fashion planted, that hath a mint of phrases in his brain, one who the music of his own vain tongue doth ravish like enchanting harmony, a man of compliments whom right and wrong have chose as umpire of their mutiny. This child of fancy that Armando hight for in for for interim to our studies shall relate in high-born words the worth of many a knight. From 20 Spain, lost in world's debate, how you delight, my lords, I know not I, but I protest to love to hear him lie. But I protest, I love to hear him lie, and I will use him for my and I will use him for my minstrelsy. Brone. Armando is a most illustrious weight, a man of fire new words, fashion's own knight. Longville. Constred the swain, and he shall be our sport, and so to study 3 years is but short. Enter Dull, a constable with a letter, with Constred. Dull. Which is the Duke's own person? Barone. This fellow, what wouldst? Dull. I myself reprehend his own person, for I am his grace's Farborough. But I would see his own person in flesh and blood. Barone. This is he. Dull. Seigneur arm commends you. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more. Costard. Sir, the contempts thereof are as touching me. King. A letter from the magnificent Armando. Barone. How low soever the matter, I hope in God for high words. Longavale. A high hope for a low heaven. God grant us patience. Barone. To hear or forbear hearing. Longavale. To hear meekly, sir, and to laugh moderately, or to forbear both. Barone. Well, sir, be it as the style shall give us cause to climb in the merriness. Costard. The matter is to me, sir, as concerning Jaquinetta. The matter of it is, I was taken with the manner. Barone. In what manner? Costard. In manner and form following, sir, all those three. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her upon the form, and taken following her to the park, which thank you. I lost my place. Costard. In manner and form following, sir, all those three, I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her upon the form, taking following her into the park, which put together is in manner form following. Now, sir, for the manner, it is the manner of a man to speak to a woman. For the form in some form. Barone. For the following, sir? Costard. As it shall follow in my correction, and God defend the right. King. Will you hear this letter with attention? Barone. As we would hear an oracle. Costard. Such is the simplicity of a man to hearken after the flesh. King. Reads. Great deputy, the Welkin's vicegerent and sole dominator of Navarre, my soul's earth god and body's fostering patron. That was the king. Costard. Not a word of Costard yet. King. So it is, Costard. It may be so, but if he say it is so, it is in telling true, but so. King. Peace, Coastard. Be to me and every man that dares not fight. King. No words, Coastard. Of other men's secrets, I beseech you. King. So it is, besieged with stable-colored melancholy, I did commend the black oppressing humour to the most wholesome psychic of thy health-giving air, and, as I am a gentleman, betook myself to walk. The time when? About the 6th hour, when beasts most graze, birds best peck, and men sit down to that nourishment which is called supper. So much for the time when. Thanks for the likes. Now for the ground which I mean I walked upon, it is yclept thy park. It is yclept, Ycleped. Yclept thy park. Then for the place where I mean I did encounter that obscene and most preposterous event that draweth from my snow-white pen the ebon-coloured ink, which here thou viewest, beholdest, surveyest, or seest. But to the place where it standeth northeast, and by east from the west corner of thy curious knotted garden, there did I see that low-spirited swine, that base minnow of thy mirth, Coastard. Me? King. That unlettered small-knowing soul, Costard. Me? King. That shallow vassal, Coastard. Still me. King. Which, as remembering height, Coastard. Oh, me! King. Sorted and consorted, contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and continent canon, but with this passion to say wherewith, Coastard. What with a wench? King. With a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or, for thy more sweet understanding, a woman. Him I, as my ever-esteemed duty pricks me on, have sent to thee to receive the meed of punishment by thy sweet grace's officer, Anthony Doll, a man of good repute, carriage bearing, and estimation. Doll. Me and shall please you. I am Anthony Doll. King. For Jacquinetta, so is the weaker vessel called, which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain, I keep her as a vessel of thy law's fury, and shall, at the least of thy sweet notice, bring her to trial. Thine, in all complaints of devoted and heart-burning heart of duty, Don Adriano de Armando, Barone. This is not so sweet as I looked for, but the best thing I ever heard. King. Aye, the best for the worst, but, sirrah, what say you to this? Coastard. Sir, I confess the wench. King. Did you hear the proclamation? Coastard. I do confess much of the hearing it, but little of the marking of it. King. It was proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench. Coastard. I was taken with none, sir. I was taken with a damsel. King. Well, it was proclaimed damsel. Coastard. This was no damsel neither, sir. She was a virgin. King. It is so varied so, for it was proclaimed virgin. Coastard. If it were, I deny her virginity. I was taken with a maid. King. This maid will not serve your turn, sir. Coastard. This maid will serve my turn, sir. King. Sir, I will pronounce your sentence. You shall fast a week with bran and water. Coastard. I would rather pry a month with mutton and porridge. King. And Don Armando shall be your keeper. My lord Barone, see him delivered o'er, and go we lords to put in practice that with which each to other hath so strongly sworn. Excellent King, Longueville and Domain. Barone, I'll lay my head to any good man's hat. These oaths and laws will prove in idle scorn. Sirrah, come on. Costard, I suffer for the truth, sir. For truth it is I was taken with Jacquinetta, and Jacquinetta is a true girl, and therefore welcome the sour cup of prosperity. Affliction may one day smile again. Until then, sit thee down, sorrow. Excellent. Act 1, Scene 2. Enter Armando, a braggart, and Moth, his page. Armando. Boy, what sign is it when a man of great spirit grows melancholy? Moth. A great sign, sir, that he will look sad. Armando. Why, sadness is one and the self-same thing, dear imp. Moth. Oh no, oh Lord, sir, no. Armando. How canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile? Moth. By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough signor. Armando. Why tough signor? Why tough signor? Moth. Why tender juvenile? Why tender juvenile? Armando. I spoke it, tender juvenile, as a congruent epitheton. Epitheton? I'm not sure how to read that, but I'm not sure what that says. Epitheton appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender. Moth. And I, tough signor, as in a parting title to your old time, which we may name tough. Armando. Petty, pretty and apt. Moth. How mean you, sir? I pretty and my saying apt, or I apt and my saying pretty? Armando. Thou pretty because little. Moth. Little pretty because little. Wherefore apt? Armando. And therefore apt because quick. Moth. Speak you this in my praise, master? Armando. In thy conding, CONDIGN, conding praise. Moth. I will praise an eel with the same praise. Armando. What? That an eel is ingenious? Moth. That an eel is quick. Armando. I do say thou art quick in answers. Thou heatest my blood. Moth. I am answered, sir. Armando. I love not to be crossed. Moth. Aside. He speaks the mere contrary, crosses love, not him. Armando. I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke. Moth. You may do it in an hour, sir. Armando. Impossible. Moth. How many is one thrice told? Armando. I am ill at reckoning. It fitteth the spirit of a tapster. Armando. You are a gentleman and a gamester, sir. Armando. I confess both. They are both the varnish of a complete man. Moth. Then I am sure. Sorry, I lost my place. Happens sometimes. I confess both. They are both the varnish of a complete man. Moth. Then I am sure you know how much the gross sum of deuce amounts to. Awesome. Okay. Armando. It doth amount to one more than two. Moth. Which the base vulgar do call 3. Armando. True. Moth. Why, sir, is this such a piece of study? Now, here it 3 studied ere you'll thrice wink, and how easy it is to put years in the word three and study 3 years in 2 words, the dancing horse will tell you. Armando, a most fine figure. Moth, aside, to prove you a cipher. Armando, I hereupon confess I am in love, and as it is base for a soldier to love, so am I in love with a base wench. If drawing my sword against the humour of affection would deliver me from the reprobate thought of it, I would take desire prisoner and ransom him to any French courtier for a new devised courtesy. I think scorn to sigh. Methinks I should outswear Cupid. Comfort me, boy. What great men have been in love? Moth. Hercules, master. Armando. Most sweet Hercules. More thorny, dear boy. Name more, and sweet, my child. Let them be men of great repute and carriage. Moth. Samson, master. He was a man of good carriage, great carriage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter, and he was in love. Armando. O well-knit Samson, strong-jointed Samson, I do excel thee in my rapier as much as thou didst me in carrying gates. I am in love too. Who is Samson's loves, my dear Moth? Moth. A woman, master. Armando. Of what complexion? Moth. Of all the four, or the three, or the two, or one of the four. Armando. Tell me precisely of what complexion. Moth. Of the sea water green, sir. Armando. Is that one of the four complexions? Moth. As I have read, sir, and the best of them too. Armando. Green indeed is the colour of lovers, but to have a love of that colour, methinks Samson had small reason for it. He surely affected for her wit. Moth. He was so fair, for she had a green wit. Armando. My love is the most immaculate white and red. Moth. Most immaculate thought and master are masked under such colours. Armando. Define, well-educated infant. Moth. My father's wit and my mother's tongue assist me. Armando. Sweet invocation of a child, most pretty and pathetical, I think is the word. Moth. If she be made of white and red, her faults would never be known. For blushing cheeks by faults are bred, and fears by pale white shown. Then if she fear or be to blame, by this you shall not know. For still her cheeks possesses the same with native she doth owe. A dangerous rhyme, master, against the reason of white and red. Armando. Is there not a ballad, boy, of the king and the beggar? Moth. The world was very guilty of such a ballad for some 3 ages since, but I think now 'tis not to be found. Or, if it were, it would neither serve for the writing nor the tune. Armando. I will have that subject newly writ o'er, and I may example my discretion by some mighty precedent. Boy, I do love that country girl that took in the park with the rational hind costard. She deserves well, Moth, aside, to be whipped, and yet a better love than my master. Armando. Sing, boy, my spirit grows heavy in love. Moth. And that's great marvel, loving a light wench. Armando. I say sing. Moth. Forbear till this company be past. We're still more than halfway there to pay overdue rent and help keep a single mom with cancer and her children from becoming homeless. At this point, any donation helps, and we're doing really great. We're already at $355, which is incredible. Once again, thank you to all of the people who have donated. And if you would like to donate or just to check out the donation and the information, it's in the description and the top comment in the chat or comments or whatnot it's called. Whatever it's called. Armando. I say, sing, Moth. Forbear till this company be past. Enter Coaster the clown, Constable Doll, and Jaquanetta a wench. Doll. Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Coaster safe, and you must suffer him to make no delight nor to penance, but a must fast 3 days a week. For this damsel I must keep her at the parks. She is allowed for the day woman. Fare thee well. Armando. I do betray myself with blushing. Maid. Jaquanetta. Man. Armando. I will visit thee at the lodge. Jaquanetta. That's hereby. Armando. I know where it is situate. Jaquanetta. Lord, how wise you are, Armando. I will tell thee wonders. Jaquanetta. With that face? Armando. I love thee. Jaquanetta. So I heard you say. Armando. And so farewell. Jaquanetta. Fair weather after you. Dull. Come, Jaquanetta. Away. Exeunt Dull and Jaquanetta. Armando. Villain. Thou shalt fast for thy offences ere thou be pardoned. Coaster. Well, sir, I hope when I do it, I shall do it on a full stomach. Armando. Thou shalt be heavily punished. Coaster. I am more bound to you than your fellows, for they are but lightly rewarded. Armando. Take away this villain, shut him up. Moth. Come, you transgressing slave, away. Coaster. Let me not be pent up, sir. I will fast, being loose. Moth. No, sir, that were fast and loose. Thou shalt to prison. I seem to have lost my place. Ah, here we are. Coaster. Nay, nothing, Master Moth, but what they look upon. Nay, nothing, Master Moth. Coaster. Nay, nothing, Master Moth, but what they look upon. It is not for prisoners to be too silent in their words, and therefore I will say nothing. I thank God I have as little patience as another man, and therefore I can be quiet. Exit with Moth. Armando. I do affect the very ground which is base, where her shoe which is baser, guided by her foot which is basest, doth tread. I shall be forsworn which is great argument of falsehood if I love. And how can that be true love which is falsely attempted? Love is a familiar. Love is a devil. There is no evil angel but love. Yet was Samson so tempted, and he had an excellent strength. Yet was Solomon so seduced, and he had a very good wit. Cupid's butt shaft is too hard for Hercules' club, and therefore too much odds for a Spaniard's rapier. The first and second cause will will not serve my turn. The passado he respects not. The the Julo he regards not. His disgrace is to be cancelled, called boy, but his glory is to subdue men. Adieu, valor, rust, rapier, be still drum, for your manager is in love. Ye he loveth. Assist me some extirpora extemporal god of rhyme, for I am sure I shall turn sonnet. Devise which, write pen, for I am for the whole volumes in folio. Exit. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter the princes of France, with three attending ladies. The princess of France, with three attending ladies, Rosalind, Maria, Catherine, and three lords, one of whom is Boyet. I'll be right back. I'll start Act 2, Scene 1 in 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Give me 1 second. Okay. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter the Princess of France, with three attending ladies, Rosaline, Maria, and Catherine, and three lords, one of whom is Boyet. Boyet. Now, madam, summon up your dearest spirits. Consider who the king your father sends, to whom he sends, and what's his embassy. Yourself held precious in the world's esteem, to parley with the sole inheritor of all perfections that a man may owe. Matchless Navarre, the plea of no less weight than acquaintance, the dowry for a queen, but now as prodigal of all dear grace, as nature was in making graces dear, when she did starve the general world beside you, and prodigally give them all to you. Princess, good Lord Boyet, my beauty though but mean, needs not the painted flourish of your praise. Beauty is bought by judgment of the eye, not uttered by the base sale of chapmen's tongues. I am less proud to hear you tell my worth than you much willing to be counted wise in spending your wit in the praise of mine. But now to task the tasker. Good Boyet, you are not ignorant. You are not ignorant, all telling fame doth noise abroad. Navarre hath made a vow, till painful study shall outwear 3 years. No woman may approach his silent court. Therefore to seemeth it a needful course, before we enter his forbidden gates, to know his pleasure, and in that behalf, bold of your worthiness, we single you as guest moving fair solicitor. Tell him the daughter of the King of France, on serious business, carving quick dispatch, importunes personal conference with his grace. Haste signifies so much, while we attend like humble visaged suitors his high will. Boyet, proud of employment, willingly I go. Princess, all pride is willing pride, and yours is so. Exit Boyet. Who are the votaries, my loving lords, that vow fellow with this virtuous duke? Lord, Longueville is one. Princess, know you this man? Maria, I know him, madam. At a marriage feast between Lord Perigord and the beauteous heir of Jacques Falconbridge, solemnized of Normandy, saw I this longing veil. Longing veil. A woman of sovereign parts he is esteemed, well fitted in arts, glorious in arms. Nothing becomes him ill that he would dwell. The only soil of his fair virtue's gloss, if virtue's gloss will stain with any soil, is as sharp wit matched with too blunt a will, whose edge hath power to cut, whose will still wills it should none spare that come within his power. Princess, some merry mocking lord, belike, is it so? Maria, they say so most that most his humours know. Princess, such short-lived wits do wither as they grow. Who are the rest? The young Dumaine, a well-accomplished youth, of all that virtue loved for virtue loved. Most power to do most harm, least knowing ill, for he hath wit to make an ill shape good, and shape to win grace, although he had no wit. I saw him at Duke Alenquon's once, and much too little of that good I saw is my report to his great worthiness. Rosaline, another of these students at that time, was there with him. I have heard a truth. Baron they call him, but a merrier man, within the limit of becoming mirth. I never spent an hour's talk with all. His eyes begets occasion for his wit, for every objects of the one moving doth catch, the other turns to a mirth moving jest. With his fair tongue conceits expostere, delivers in such apt and gracious words that aged ears play truant at his tales, and younger hearings are quite ravished, so sweet and voluble in his discourse. I'm really hungry, so I'm going to get some food really quickly. I will be back in 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about all these interruptions. Princess, God bless my ladies. Are they all in love? That every one of her own hath garnished with such bedecking ornaments of praise? Lord, here comes Boyette. Enter, Boyette. Now, what admittance, Lord? Princess, now, what admittance, Lord? Boyette. Navarre had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Marry, thus much I have learnt. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes to here to beseech his court, than seek a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house. Enter the King of Navarre, long in veil, Maine, and Brome. Here comes Nevers. King. Fair princess, welcome back to the court of Nevers. Princess. Fair, I give you back again, and welcome I have not yet. The roof under this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to this wide fields too base to be mine. King. You shall be welcome, madam, to my court. Princess. I will be welcome, then. Conduct me thither. King. Hear me, dear lady. I have sworn an oath. Princess. Our lady help my lord. You'll be forsworn. King. Not for the world, fair madam, but my will. Princess. Princess, why will shall break it? Will and nothing else. King. Your ladyship is ignorant what it is. Princess. Where my lord so his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge must prove ignorance. 'Tis, I hear your grace hath sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. But pardon me, I am too sudden bold to teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit. Gives the paper. King. Madam, I will, if suddenly I may. Princess. You will the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay. Barone. Did not I dance with you in Brabant once? Did not I dance with you in Brabant once? Rosaline. Did not I dance with you in Brabant once? Barone. I know you did. Rosaline. How needless was it, then, to ask the question? Barone. You must not be so quick. Rosaline. 'Tis long of you that spur me with such questions. Barone. Your wit's too hot, it speeds too fast, 'twill tire. Rosaline. Not since it leaves the rider in the mire. Barone. What time o' day? Rosaline. The hour that fools should ask. Barone. Now fair befall your masks. Rosaline. Fair fall the face it covers. Barone. And send you many lovers. Rosaline. Amen. So you be none. Barone. Nay then, will I be gone? King. Madam, your father here doth intimidate the payment of 100,000 crowns, but being the one half of an entire sum disturbed by my father in his wars, but say that he or we, as neither have, received that sum, yet there remains unpaid 100,000 more, in surety of the which one part of acquaintance is bound to us, although not valued to the money's worth. If then the king your father will restore, but that one half which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right to acquitain, I think, I'm not sure, and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But that, it seems, he little purpose, for here he doth demand to have repaired 100,000 crowns, and not demands on payment of 100,000 crowns to have his title in acquaintine, which we much rather have depart withal, and have the money by our fathers lent, than acquaintine so Gelded it is, dear princess, were not his requests so far from reasons yielding your fair self should make a yielding against some reason in my breast, and go well satisfied to France again. Princess, you do the king my father too much wrong. You do the king my father too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so in seeming to confess receipt of that which hath so faithfully been paid. King, I do protest I never heard of it, and if you prove it, I'll repay it back, or yield up acquainting. Princess, we arrest your word. Boyest, you can produce acquaintances for such a sum for special officers of Charles's father. King, satisfy me so. Boyet, so please your grace, the packet is not come where that and other specialties are bound. Tomorrow you shall have a sight of them. King, it shall suffice me, at which interview all liberal reason I will yield unto. Meantime, receive such welcome in my hand as honor without breach of honor. As honor without breach of honor may make tender of thy true worthiness. You may not come, fair princess, within my gates, but here without you shall be so received as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart. Though so denied fair laborer in my house, your own good thoughts excused me, and farewell. Tomorrow shall we visit you again. Oh, I'm on page 222 of the Shakespeare book. And I have and I have 27 pages left of Love's Labour's Lost. This looks more long than some of the other plays that I have read today, the one yesterday. I guess there's just one really long end scene because I'm not seeing any markings of scenes for a while here. Yeah, it's still 5 acts and 2 scenes long, but the last scene is incredibly long. Well then, anyways, Princess, sweet health and fair desires consort your grace. King, thy own wish I thee in every place. Exit with Longingvale and Domain. Barone, lady, I will commend you to mine own heart. Rosaline, pray you do my commendations. I would be glad to see it. Barone, I would you heard it groan. Rosaline, is the fool sick? Barone, sick at the heart. Rosaline, alack, let it blood. Barone, would that do it good? Rosaline, my psychic says I. Barone, will you prick it with your eye? Barone, Rosaline, non point with my knife. Barone, now God save thy life. Rosaline, and yours for long living. Barone, I cannot stay Thanksgiving. Exit. Enter Domain. Sir, I pray you a word. What lady is that same? Boyet, the heir of Alencon, Catherine her name. Domain, a gallant lady, Monsieur, fare thee well. Exit. Enter Longingvale. I beseech you a word. What is she in the white? Boyet, a woman sometimes, and you saw her in the light. saw her in the light. Longingvale. Perchance light in the light, I desire her name. Poet. She hath but one for herself, to desire that were shame. Longingvale. Pray you, sir, whose daughter? Poet. Her mother, as I have heard. Longingvale. God's blessing on your beard. Poet. Good sir, be not offended. She is an heir of Falconbridge. Longingvale. Nay, my choler is ended. She is a most sweet lady. Poet. Not unlike, sir, that may be. Enter, exit, Longingvale. Enter, Brome. Brome. What's her name in the cap? Poet. Rosaline, by good hap. Brome. Is she wedded or no? Poet. To her will, sir, or so. Brome. Oh, you are welcome, sir. Adieu. Poet. Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you. And exit Brome. Maria. That last is Barone, the merry madcap lord, that a word with him but a jest, and every jest but a word. Princess. It was well done of you to take him at his word. Poet. I was as willing to grapple as he was to board. Catherine. Two hot cheaps, Mary, and wherefore not ships? Poet. And wherefore not ships? No sheep, sweet lamb, unless we feed on your lips. Catherine. Catherine. You sheep and I pasture. Shall that finish the jest? Poet. So you grant pasture for me. Catherine. Not so, gentle best. My lips are no common, though several they be. Poet. Belonging to whom? Catherine. To my fortunes and me. Princess. Good wits to be jangling, but jangles agree. This civil war of wits were much better used on Navarre and his bookmen, for here 'tis abused. Poet. Of my observation, which very seldom lies, by the heart still rhetoric disclosed with eyes. Deceive me not now. Navarre is infected. Princess. With what? Poet. With that which we lovers entitle affected. Princess. Your reason? Poet. Why, all his behaviors did make the retire to the court of his eye, peeping thorough desire. His heart like an agate with your point impressed, proud with his form, and his eye pride express. Ah, and we are at 2 hours. So yay, that's good. And we are still halfway to paying overdue rent and keeping a single mom with cancer and her children from becoming homeless. We have already supplied 320 people with healthy meals, home care for 3 people struggling in their fight with AIDS, and life-saving medication for 1 month for a young man who is out of work and doesn't have health insurance. So that is incredibly awesome. The link to that website is down below in the description, and I'll also put it here in the comments because the only other place is in the very top. Even if you aren't going to donate, I recommend looking at the link and seeing what the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS does, because it's some really amazing stuff. Now, where was I? Every time I talk about something different, I lose my place. Poet. Why all his behaviors did make their true, to the court of his eye peeping through desire, his heart like an agate with your print impressed, proud with his form and his pride expressed. His tongue, all impatient to speak and not see, did stumble with haste, and his eyesight to be all senses that to that sense did make their repair, to feel only looking on fairest of fair. Methought all his senses were locked in his eye, as jewels in crystal were some prices to buy, who tendering to their own worth from where they were glassed, did point you to buy them along as you passed. His face's own margin did quoth such amazes, that all eyes saw his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you a quintain. I'll give you a quantain. I think, not sure how to pronounce that one. And all that is his, and you give him for my sake but one loving kiss. Princess, come to our pavilion. Boyet is disposed. Boyet. But to speak that in words which his eye hath disclosed, I only have made a moth of his eye by adding a tongue which I know will not lie. Maria, thou art an old monger, and speakest skilfully. Catherine, he is Cupid's grandfather, and learns news of him. Rosaline, then was Venus like her mother, but for her father is but grim. Boyet, do you hear my mad wenches? Maria, no. Boyet, what? Then do you see? Maria, aye, our way to be gone. Boyet, you are too hard for me. Exeunt omens. Omens. I'm not sure. It's Omnes. Act 3. Yes, we are on Act 3 now. So like maybe halfway, not even halfway through this. Like, Love's Labour's Lost started on page 214, and we're on page 223. And it goes until page 248. So, no, not really halfway, but we're getting there. Okay. Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Armando the braggart and Moth, his boy. Armando, warble child, make passionate my sense of hearing. Moth sings. Concolinel? I'm not sure. Concolinel, or however he sings it. Armando, sweet air, go tenderness of years. Take this key, give enlargement to the wind. Bring him festinately hither. Bring him festinately hither. I must employ him on a letter to my love. Moth, master, will you win your love with a French brawl? Armando, how meanest thou, brawling in French? Moth, no, my complete master, but to jig off a tune at the tongue's end. Canary to it with your feet, humor it with tuning up your eyelids, and sing a note and sing a note, and sigh a note and sing a note, sometime thorough the throat, as if you swallowed love with singing love, sometime through the noise, as if you snuffed up love by smelling love, with your hat penthouse like o'er the shop of your eyes, with your arms crossed on your thin belly doublet, like a rabbit on spit, or your hands in your pocket like a man after the old painting, and keep not too long in one tune, but a snip and away. These are compliments, these are humours, these betray nice wenches that would be betrayed without these, and make them men of note. How did you note? Men that most are affected to these. Armando, how hast thou purchased this experience? Moth, by my penny of observation. Armando, but oh, Moth, the hobby horse is forgot. Armando, callest thou my love hobby horse? Moth, no, master, the hobby horse is but a colt, and your love perhaps a hackney. But have you forgot your love? Armando, almost I have. Moth, negligent Oh, I know this word. It's just for some reason it's not. Negligent student. Learn her by heart. Armando. By heart. By heart and in heart, boy. Moth. And out of heart, master. All those things, all those three I will prove. Armando. What wilt thou prove? Moth. A man if I live, and this by in and without, upon the instant. By heart you love her, because your heart cannot come by. In heart you love her, because your heart is in love with her, and out of heart you love her, being out of heart that you cannot enjoy her. I'll be back in 1 minute. Oh, okay. I'm really tired at this point. Probably won't go to 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe till 8 or 9. But at least I'll finish Love's Labor's Lost, and hopefully that can last me an hour or so, because I think I'll probably stop once I finish this play, because I really do want to. The next play is A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I really want to start with that tomorrow, so that's going to be really awesome. Okay. Armando. I am all these three. Moth. Aside. And 3 times as much more, and yet nothing at all. Armando. Fetch hither the swain. He must carry me a letter. Moth, aside. A message well sympathized. A horse to be ambassador for an ass. Armando, ha ha, what sayest thou? Moth, marry, sir, you must send the ass upon the horse, for he is very slow gaited. But I go. Armando, the way is but short. Away! Moth, as swift as lead, sir. Arm, Arm, have I been saying Armando this whole time? It's Armado. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's Armado. Armado. The meaning pretty ingenious is not lead and metal heavy, dull and slow. Moth. Minimi. Honest master, or rather master no. Armado. I say lead is slow. Moth. You are too swift, sir, to say so. Is that lead slow, which is fired from a gun? Armado. Sweet smoke of rhetoric. He reputes me a cannon, and the bullet, that's he. I shoot thee at the swain. Moth. Thump then, and I flee. Exit. Armado. A most accurate juvenile, voluble and free of grace. By thy favour, sweet welkin, I must sigh in thy face. Most rude melancholy, Valor gives thee peace. My herald is returned. Enter Moth the page, and Costard the clown. Moth. A wonder, master, here's a costard broken in a shin. Armado. Some enigma, some riddle. Come thy, we and Envoy begin. Costard. No enigma, no riddle. No, the envoy, no slave in the mail, sir. Or, sir, plantain, plain plantain. No envoy, no slave, sir, but a plantain. Armado. By virtue thou in forecast laughter, thy silly thought, my spleen, the heaving of my lungs provokes me to ridiculous smiling. Oh, pardon me, my stars, doth the inconsiderate take slave for the envoy, and the word the envoy for a slave? Moth. Do the wise think them other? Is not the envoy a slave? Armando. No, page, it is an epilogue or discourse to make plain some obscure precedence that hath tofore been sane. I will example it. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were still at odds, being but three. That's the moral. Now the l'envoy. Moth. I will add l'envoy, say the moral again. Armando. The fox, the ape, the humble bee were still at odds, being but three. That's the moral. Now the l'envoy. Armando. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were at odds, being but three. Moth. Until the goose came out of door and stayed the odds by adding four. Now will I begin your moral, and do you follow with my the envoy. The fox, the ape, and the humble bee were still at odds, being out there three. Armado. Until the goose came out of door, staying the odds by adding four. Moth. A goodly envoy ending in the goose. Would you desire more? Costard. The boy hath sold him a bargain, a goose that's flat. Sir, your pennyworth is good, and your goose be fat. To sell a bargain well is as cunning as fast and loose. Let me see, a fatly envoy, aye, that's a fat goose. Armando, come hither, hither. How did this argument begin? Moth. By saying that a costard was broken in a shin. Then called you for the envoy. Costard. True. And I for plantain. Thus came your argument in. Then the boys fatly envoy the goose that you brought, and he ended the market. Armando. But tell me, how is there a costard broken in a shin? Moth. I will tell you sensibly. Costard. Thou hast no feeling of it. Moth. I will speak that the envoy. I, Costard, running out that was safely within, fell over the threshold and broke my shin. We will talk no more of this matter till there be no more matter in the shin. Armando, Sierra Costard, I will enfranchise thee. Costard, oh, marry me to one of the Frances. I smell some lienvoy, some goose in this. Armando, but my sweet soul, I mean setting thee at liberty in free domain thy person. Thy wert immured, restrained, captivated, bound, costered. True, true, and now you will be my purgation and let me loose. Armando, I give thee thy liberty, and set thee from thy durance, and in lieu thereof impose on thee nothing but this. Gives a letter. Bear this significance in the country. Made Jaquinetta. Gives money. There's a remuneration. I don't know how to pronounce it. For the best word honor is rewarded. My dependents moth follow. Moth. Like the sequel, I, Senor Custard, adieu. Exit. Once again, we're halfway to paying overdue rent and keeping a single mom with cancer and her children from becoming homeless. The link to Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS is in the description and is the first thing in the comments, and currently the last thing in the comments as well. Costard, my sweet ounce of man's flesh, my incarnate Jew. Now will I look into his remuneration. Remuneration? Oh, that's the Latin word for 3 farthings. 3 farthings remuneration. Remuneration. What's the piece of this inkle? 1 penny. No, I'll give you a remuneration. Why, it carries it. Remuneration. Why, it is the fairer name than a French crown. I will never buy and sell out of this word. Enter Barone. 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 My good knave Custard. Costard. Sorry. Exceedingly well met. Custard. Pray you, sir. How much carnation ribbon may a man buy for a remuneration? Barone. Barone. Oh, sorry. Barone. What is a I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'm going to look this up. How to pronounce Remuneration, I think. Remuneration, I think. Bruin. What is a remuneration? Custard. Marry, sir, halfpenny farthing. Bruin. Why then 3 farthing worth of silk? Custard. I thank your worship. God be with you. Bruin. Stay, slave, I must employ thee. As thou wilt win my favour, good my knave, do one thing for me that I shall entreat. Custard. When would you have it done, sir? Barone. This afternoon. Custard. Well, I will do it, sir. Fare you well. Barone. Thou knowest not what it is. Custard. I shall know, sir, when I have done it. Barone. Why, villain? You must know first. Custard. Need to take a break. So I'm going to end this stream, and then I'll do another part later on.